guys, what's going on? World War II historian here today, and I am just bringing you guys some Dead Matter commentary and review. So for the past couple of days, I've been playing Crysis 2 because I bought it on the last day of the Steam sale, and it was only $10, so I bought it for I and a friend. And I thought I'd start playing Dead Matter, which is a mod for Crysis 2, of course, created by Johnny Guitar. Now, as you can see here, the zombies spawned standing up. It's a fairly new mod, and it's very buggy, it's got a lot of glitches, and it kinda takes after Crysis. You can tell a little bit. If you notice that I'm trying to run, and it's making the sound of you running in single player on, like, Crysis 2 single player, with the nano suit, you can hear the energy bar filling and decreasing. If I jump at all, you can hear the jump sound, and how that's taking down energy, and there's a lot from Crysis 2. He changed the skin and removed the HUD, so you're wearing a US Marine Corps skin, and the HUD is gone, so you really can't figure out how much ammo you have, other than just to take more and know that you have more. One of the biggest issues that I can see right now with playing the game is that there's just too many things that have come from Crysis that they didn't remove, such as, like, that guy, he's saying, what's this? Basically, they are just infected civilians. I don't know if any of you have ever played the Crysis 2 single player, but basically, there is an infection, and basically they took some infected citizens and put them in here and made them act kind of like zombies. If you realize, when they're starting to get aggro, they try to hold a gun, and then they go into that stance where they're walking forward, and that is really, really scripted. One thing this mod did quite well, actually, is their apocalyptic atmosphere. By that I mean, if you realize there's ashes flying around on the screen, and, you know, on the zombie shirts there's blood, and even though they all look the same, I mean, there's burnt out cars everywhere, some of them are on fire, there's a crashed helicopter there, and most of the burned out wrecks actually do spawn loot, which, I mean, brings me into a whole nother topic about loot spawning. That is that, basically, loot spawns everywhere among the map, and you just have to find the right places, because it's not all that common. Like, you might find a gun here and there, you might find an ammo cache, but you really have to look hard to find the loot, and that makes the game all that much more realistic. The zombies, however, are very common. They are persistent, and they are everywhere. Any building that you walk up to that has more of 3 or more buildings in a town, there's going to be zombies everywhere, and these just chase you until you kill them. They will not give up on you for any reason. You could walk and run or drive all the way back to your base, and they will follow you there. And if you do not have a squad of men ready to lay them down at your base, they will mess you up. I guarantee it. The chases, if you do stop to fight them, are very good, though. Like, as you're seeing here, I'm laying them down with this pistol. And, you know, I picked up the Marshall there on the ground. But they just keep coming and coming from everywhere. As you kill them, more spawn, unless you just eradicate them all from the town. And I think it just looks way cool with all them zombies coming at you like that. Now, when you're gonna get hit by a zombie, and you know you're gonna get hit, basically, you want to try and get away from that as best you can. The screen, when you get hit, you saw it earlier as the video was starting, and you're about to see it again. I think it's a pretty nice screen. It actually shows some trauma, some blunt trauma force that you would get if you were actually being whacked that hard in the head, or whatever. You know, the red screen comes up, your screen kind of shakes for a second, and then you're back. You can actually be infected if you get, like, so many hits. If you don't die by being hit, you can be infected, and it's really, really hard to find an antidote. You have to go into one of the biggest cities, and you have to search literally everywhere to find, like, an EpiPen looking thing, and you need to take morphine with it, and it's just it's a hassle. You don't want to get infected, so you want to try and stop yourself from being hit as much as you possibly can. When I mentioned before driving to your base, I meant to go more in depth with that. Basically, you can drive vehicles in this game. I don't know what all types of vehicles you can drive in this game, because I haven't really played it to its fullest extent. But I just passed a white truck, and I'm gonna get in it in a second and drive it around towards the end of the video. Yeah, that's a vehicle. That is one of the standard kind of Humvee cars you'll find in the Crysis 2 single player. So yeah, that's there. I'm not sure what other types of vehicles there are as far as that goes, but I'm sure there's a few others scattered around the map somewhere. And when you save the game, they do save where you stop them. One of the prime examples of this game being buggy was that zombie picking up a gun. I don't know why that zombie had a gun or how he got it. I don't know if he picked it up from that ammo cache or if there was one laying nearby, but he just absorbed a gun from nowhere and actually started shooting me. Those green lines are something in Crysis where you can see where the bullets are going to go, and it's kind of like a projectile reading that you're only supposed to be able to see with the nanosuit. So that's another bug there. But for whatever reason, that zombie actually was able to get a gun and start shooting me. That is a huge bug that needs to be removed as quickly as possible, in my opinion, because that really ruins the whole zombie environment in gameplay, because you know that a zombie does not have the intelligence to pick up a gun and actually shoot at you. There is actually a base building system in the game that's really not up to code yet. Basically, you can walk around the map and pick up different types of items. The two main items that you would want to pick up are food and drink, because as you can see in the bottom right corner of my screen, it pops up sometimes whenever it wants to. You can see your food and your drink levels. You do need to eat and drink in this game as any other zombie game that you would think of, like Warzy or Daisy or anything like that. But getting back to the base building, you can pick up planks and boards and assemble them in some kind of way. I'm not exactly sure how you do that yet, but I know they are trying to implement it, and if they can't, well, they'll definitely do it in their standalone version of the game. As of now, Dead Matter is only a single-player mod for Crysis 2, and where they're going with that is, they're going with more of the genre where you actually want to play the zombie game and actually verse zombies, and not have to deal with other players. There are enemy soldier AI, there's civilian AI, there's AI all over the map, and NPCs that you have to try and help or recruit up to trying to defend your base, whether it's a soldier or something like that. But yeah, it's basically a single player mod. I don't know if in their standalone version of the game if they want to add multiplayer, but that'll be up to them. For now, guys, please remember to comment, rate, subscribe, and thank you for watching. World War II Historian out.